Welcome back to 10 Tanks Podcast. I'm your host, Robert Brielle, and I have Adam Nilsson on Zoom. And we are checking levels.
Oh, God.
And we are recording a podcast. It's been a minute since I've harassed Jabay, so I feel
Christ.
like I got to, for a guy that's just, he's got it so easy, being the race
so
director,
easy.
The race director of Grid Life, and in charge of
He's
GLTC.
self-employed. He's literally his own boss.
Yeah.
It's like the dream. Isn't that what everybody wants?
That's exactly what everybody wants.
I don't know what his problem is.
That's why he worked so hard for so many years to get where he's at now, so he can just kind of coast on his successes. And
exactly. And
now he can there's no drama with being a race director, so that's nice. I mean, I'm in a lot of Facebook groups he's in. It's just all fun all the time.
Yeah.
Wait.
I'm going to leave that one alone.
Yeah. No, I know that he's been in Facebook messages and groups and shit all week. So he's been right in front of me all week, and I haven't actually talked to him. It's just I've seen him interacting on Facebook, and that's really weird because Jabay doesn't interact on Facebook.
Yeah, he's been pretty quiet in social media a lot lately.
Yep. So I know he's super busy. They got they just had Grid Life at Road America, and then we got on the 5th of October is Midwest Fest at Gingerman, and then they got NOLA, which was announced after PPIR.
So I had every intention of going to Road America.
Yes.
And we were gonna pack the Blazer up, and me, Katie, and Logan, all three of us were gonna go, right? Because that track's really beautiful, and it's big and open, and it's huge.
It's like
and so you can get away from people and stuff like that. It's fairly.
What do they call that?
The National Park of Speed.
There it is.
So we were like, Katie was kind of on the fence about it, but I had talked her into it. And what we were going to do is Logan gets done with school at 3:00 in the afternoon, and I was supposed to work overnight the Thursday night before. So I just come home, sleep. When Logan gets off of school, we all jump in the Blazer and off we go. It's going to be great.
What could go wrong?
Well, so then I'm looking. We're going to sleep in a tent, and you know how tents are.
Yeah, they're great all the time.
Yeah, all the time, constantly. And my significant other was a little more apprehensive about the tent life than yours appears to be.
I thought Katie was all about camping.
She likes camping, but to her, camping is
RVing.
Is an RV.
Oh,
not a tent. Which I am in agreement with, and I'm trying to make that a reality, but I'm not at that point yet.
Yeah, no,
we're edging ever so closer.
Yeah, Jess is way more country. Probably even more country than me. So she'd sleep in the dirt. She don't care.
Yeah. No,
That's
Katie
nice.
Katie won't do that. Katie doesn't sleep well. She has a lot of sleep problems. She's a very light sleeper, and like any little thing will wake her up.
Like a cricket.
Which sucks for her because allegedly I make a lot of noise while I sleep. Supposedly.
I can't believe she sleeps at all. Ever. If she sleeps next to you, I don't know how she sleeps.
And then probably 3 to 5 nights a week, both of us are too tired to fight with my kid, because putting my kid to bed is an effort in futility. Like you have to be in so his bed's right next to me where I'm sitting here right now.
Yep.
And I have to sit in this rocking chair until he falls asleep, because if I get up before he's asleep and I go to my room, in 10 minutes, he'll be following me.
Oh, yeah, you don't want that.
So you have to sit here. Well, there's a lot of nights where Katie and I both are just like, nope, too tired, don't care. He's just sleeping with us.
Whatever. Yep.
We have a king-size bed. There's plenty of room for the three of us. It is what it is. So he sleeps with us like 3 to 5 nights a week, on top of the fact that I'm allegedly a very difficult person to sleep next to as well. So I don't know how she sleeps at all.
I don't think she does. I really don't.
There is something to that too, frankly.
Tell her my condolences. I feel bad for her.
So then I find out that it's supposed to rain all Friday night all through Saturday, and a slight potential of it Sunday morning, and the weather's not supposed to be the warmest, and it's just like, you know what? Nah,
let that one go.
We backed out on it. I was like, she's going to be mad at me. She's going to be miserable. She's not going to get any sleep because she's not going to get any sleep anyway. But then she's going to be wet and cold, and it's going to suck, and my kid's going to be pissed, and it's not going to be any fun. And that's not what I want the first time.
Then your feet are wet for like 4 straight days, and you get ringworm. Right. Been there.
And they won't want to come back. And so it just wasn't worth it. So we ended up skipping out, and I just watched as much of it as I could on the live stream.
This is the first live stream one that I didn't watch. I watched a bunch.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I watched all the other ones this year, and this is the one I didn't. We'll get into why. Because I was actually invited to go camping with somebody else and spend the weekend up there. And I said, no, I better not do it. And then I got rewarded by staying home, and we'll get to that later.
I suppose you were busy, weren't you?
I ended up being very busy. It was great.
That's a good point. I didn't think about that.
Yep.
So, but yeah, I was really bummed out. I didn't make it to Road America, and as it stands today, I still have no intention of even trying to go to Gingerman for their last event this year. So,
nope, that one's out. Plus, isn't that a closed event now? Any ticket that's sold's already been sold. No more.
Yeah, but I mean, I know a guy.
Yeah. I
can call a few favors if I had to.
We could see if he wants to do a podcast.
So, yeah,
that's a good excuse to get there. Hey, we'll do a podcast.
Yeah. So, but no, Gingerman in October hasn't been good to us
ever
in the past, and with the way this year has been, no, screw it.
And when they're trying to abide by the COVID rules, and they've done a really good job of it this year, but of having events and people following the rules as best that or as needed. Because PPIR was as good as you could get given the circumstances, I'd say.
Yeah, people were relatively well behaved as a large group of Americans are going to be.
Yeah, that's a really good way of putting it.
Am I wrong?
No, not at all.
It is what it is.
Yep. So now,
regardless of which side you stand on the fence, everybody, I think, can be realistic about the fact that we as a country haven't done the best job of it, and it is what it is.
Yeah. No, we talked about it last week. Like 2021, it won't matter what the numbers are. Americans are moving ahead.
Yeah, probably.
one way or another, we're going to get our racing in. We're going to get our sports in. We're going to do whatever we normally would have done. It's just how it goes. Right, wrong, or indifferent. And we don't need to get into that.
Nah.
But yeah, so we both missed out on Grid Life. We missed out on Arja Bay. I have not hugged him yet, but that's COVID's fault. I was going to hug him at PPR. I shrugged at him. Just all weekend. Just shrugs. Hey, Jabay. Here's a shrug.
He messaged me and he's like, "Hey, are you still coming? And can you bring your fiber splicing tools?"
Oh no!
I was like, "Say what now?"
Does it?
I was like,
every event.
Well, okay. The people that they use for the live stream, his buddy Rally Matt, as he calls him.
Yep.
That's what they do full time, and they do like crazy events, and they also are the camera crew that does most of the video work and production work for Ken Block.
Yes.
So they're kind of a big deal.
And they do great work.
As anybody who's watched those live streams can attest. They do incredible work. It's very, very good, well produced. Those guys know what they're doing. I was blown away with how good they were when we did it.
Yeah.
It was really impressive.
Super professional. The way everything's put together is just impressive.
Yeah. So the cameras that they use, because they're obviously not permanently located at these racetracks, they get their video feed back to the home board with fiber optic cables that like these armored drop cables that are on like basically large extension cord reels.
Yep.
Because they're 2,000 feet long or whatever they are. And every once in a while, even though it is pretty well armored cable, it does get damaged occasionally. And I think that they were especially with the size of Road America, they were struggling to get cameras where they wanted with the cables that he still has intact.
Yeah, I can see that. That's a big course.
Yeah. It's way harder to do than like I would imagine PPIR is probably the easiest at track. They deal with that because they're in the middle of the racetrack and the racetrack goes around them.
Yeah.
And so it's probably the easiest one to do.
And it's probably set up for it a little better too.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I was like, well, no. And he's like, can I give you his number? Or can I give him your number or email address? I'm like, yeah. I mean, I don't know that I can fix it, but if I can, I would be more than happy to do it for him. So I may be fixing some fiber optic cables for the guy that films Ken Block's videos, which will be a very strange thing.
That's awesome. Look at the connections we have.
Right?
Just helping grid life. They've done so much for us. They
have, absolutely, whether they know it or not.
Yeah, directly and indirectly.
Right.
So, no, if you can make it out to NOLA, because I don't think I'll be able to make that one, but definitely go to that in November. If you have tickets to Midwest Fest, congratulations, you are a lucky few. That'll be a lot of fun, and looks like our grid life year is done, but we are not done with Jabay, though. He will be on the show again, whether he likes it or not.
Should have him on the show.
Yeah, of course. But anyways, so we're about a few minutes into the show. We could probably open it up.
Shall we?
Yeah. As always, our opener presented by Factory Fabrication for all your fabrication needs. Railing, staircasing, landscaping, exteriors, custom furniture, or custom roll cages. I was just on the phone with Booney a little bit ago.
Oh.
Yeah, we were talking about how much everybody
hates me.
Everybody hates Robbie, and then he goes, yeah, but don't forget that I hate Adam. I was like, okay, well, let's not forget that too.
I've just decided to lean into that on social media here lately.
Yeah, everybody hates Robbie, but Booney hates Adam.
That's fine. That's fine. I've just decided to lean into it and take any chance I can at getting a stab in at him. So it's fine.
That's good. That's good friendship right there.
Yeah,
a foundation built on hatred. That's a true. I
was able to. I mean, I don't think they did anything about it, but I was trying to be helpful at the same time as making fun of him by tagging him in a for sale ad for an engine for their race car and said, "Hey, you might need another spare."
It's true. They might.
Like, I am being helpful, but I'm also making fun of him for needing so many engines because they blow them up all the time.
That's funny that you do that, and I do the same thing, but he doesn't hate me. At least doesn't say it out loud.
Well, it's because I think that he thinks that I put ketchup on brats, and I don't because ketchup is disgusting.
That's because it's too spicy.
But if I were ever around him and a brat was served to me just to drive the thing home, I would put ketchup on it
and drown it in ketchup.
I would hate every bit of it, but looking at his face would make it bearable.
Yeah, it is funny that a lot of people are in on that too, because he'll make a post about brats or whatever, and then someone will pass the ketchup.
Yep. My girlfriend puts ketchup on her brats, so I just take pictures of her brats every time. So
I'll put ketchup on brats. I don't care.
Nah, man, ketchup doesn't belong on anything except the trash.
Oh my gosh, fries.
Nah.
What do you put on fries?
Nothing. I just eat them.
Really?
Yeah, I'm an animal.
At least don't put mayonnaise on it. That's weird.
I don't put mayonnaise. Ketchup is only marginally above mayonnaise on my list of things that are good.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of
mayonnaise. Is probably the bottom of my list of things I will consume.
There's nothing worse than going to Arby's and then forgetting to tell them no, put mayonnaise on something. Or Wendy's.
I dislike mayonnaise so much I can't put it on a sandwich for somebody else without gagging.
I'll eat it on like a turkey sandwich, but it's got to be like just a little, just
the
a taste.
Least white thing about me.
And there's a lot of white things about you.
Yeah, I'm painfully white, and I've accepted that, but I cannot get past this eating mayo.
You live about 3 hours too far south. Because if you were 3 hours further north, like in Minnesota, you would love it. Probably. You'd have like mayonnaise salad.
Yeah. Probably. So, anyway, the opener.
Presented by
my throat is all messed
Factory
up.
Fabrication. It's damn allergies. So what do you got?
It is.
Computers?
So I came across this. This is a really old article, but I just came across it recently because sometimes they do that sort of stuff. Or maybe it's not as old as I think it is.
Okay, so it's a Jalopnik article.
Yep. So our favorite person in the whole wide world, Jason Torchinsky.
He's not my least favorite, though.
No, not by any stretch, but he's not my favorite.
I'll be honest, my
least favorite.
I can't remember this unless it's you sending me links for the show. I can't remember the last time I logged into Jalopnik or looked at the Jalopnik. I just don't do it.
Yeah,
it frustrates me. Anyways, this article actually seems fun.
So he did this comparison about how fast cars would be if they had advanced at the pace that computers have. Which is pretty cool.
It's awfully rapid.
So, insanely fast.
Does he have prices in here too?
Yeah, he does everything. He compares speeds, prices, the whole 9 yards.
That's always been fun.
A little background information on this. For 1982 is our beginning year, and 2017 is our ending year, so a 35-year spread.
Okay.
For 82, he picked the Apple II Plus, which was a popular computer in that era. And he went with a base level 4-cylinder Mustang, the Fox body, because you could get them as base 4-cylinders then and now. So that was a reasonable choice for that. And then for his 2017 comparison, he also used an Apple, the 21.5-inch iMac, which I know nothing about. And then, of course, the 4-cylinder Mustang. So,
that's right. They made a 4-cylinder. Duh.
Yeah, they used to, and they still do. They made a not turboed version of the 4-cylinder back in the day, and a pretty limited run of turbo ones called the SVO, which is one of my favorite 80s cars. Super cool.
Sure.
So, the specs he's using for measurement on this for the computer, he uses RAM, storage capacity, CPU speed, and price. For the car, he uses horsepower, fuel economy in miles per gallon, and 0-60 to times in seconds, and of course, price. So he admits that his metric isn't perfect here, but what he did was 0-60 time and CPU speed, because they're both speed related.
Yep. RAM
and miles per gallon, because having more RAM tends to make a computer run more efficiently, is what he tried. He's like,
we'll take it.
He says, I know that's not quite right, but it's fine. And then storage capacity to horsepower, because knowledge is power.
I'll give him that one for sure.
And then price to price. I think that I maybe would have done RAM and horsepower.
No. I would have done RAM and 0-60 time, because your RAM is your
I suppose is what keeps your computer moving.
Yeah. So I mean it's whatever. Apples and oranges regardless, but
yeah, it's kind of hard to compare, but it's still kind of interesting.
It's fun.
So basically what that accounts for, the computer, the memory is 166,666 times more than it was from 82 to 2017. CPU speed is 1,600 times faster. Storage is 7.5 million times more. And the price is 3.9 times less.
That's always been crazy to me, is that the computers in the 80s cost the same as they do now.
More.
Or less.
Almost 4 times more inflation adjusted.
Right.
So the computer was $1,700 in the 80s, which inflation adjusted is $4,300.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And the iMac that he used is $1,100.
And that's a good price for an iMac, because aren't they usually $2,000 or something crazy?
I don't have any idea. I've never.
They're very expensive. I know Apple is very expensive, which is why I'll never buy one.
Yeah.
I'm very cheap, as we talked about last week with my phones.
So, and then in the cars, or car comparisons, miles per gallon is actually worse in the new car by 0.9 times less. The 4-cylinder Fox body got 22, and the EcoBoost is rated at 20. I know that we have significantly changed how we measure.
Yeah, I'm curious what
the
the actual mile per gallon is.
So, I mean, it could go either way. It could be better. It could be worse.
Right.
So I know my Omni was rated at something like mid-20s, and there's a lot of people out there with stock ones that like easily do 30s.
I'll be down.
So 0 to 60 time, 2.9 times faster with the new one, 5.5 seconds versus 16.2. 3.5 times as much horsepower, but 1.5 times the price. So cars got more expensive, and computers got significantly cheaper.
And cars only got marginally faster. And compared to computer, which got damn near infinity times faster.
Well, so you say marginally, but that's 3 times faster is not a small amount.
No,
but it sure as hell isn't 1,600 times faster. So the math on this is hilarious and staggering to me.
I didn't make it this far when I was looking at.
So if cars developed at the pace of computers, a 2017 Ford Mustang EcoBoost base model would make 660,764,192 horsepower.
That's a lot.
And accelerate from 0 to 60 in 0.0034 seconds. Faster than you could hit and start and stop a stopwatch.
Yeah.
Like remarkably faster. Like I'm pretty sure that would kill you faster.
Yeah, the G-forces alone.
Right. But it would also get 3,666,652 miles to the gallon while it was doing it.
That'd be super efficient.
And it would only cost $4,400.
That's the future we all deserve.
Yeah. I would take any of those stats, particularly the cost.
The cost would be great. A $4,000 new Mustang.
I will take current stats and that price.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I would happily take 5.5 second 0 to 60s for $4,400. Brand new.
It'd be worth every penny.
Fuck yeah, that'd be great. And then if you do the inverse of it and you say, what if computers had only accelerated or had only progressed at the rate of cars? That iMac would only have 43.2 kilobytes of RAM, which I'm pretty sure that even my Nokia Brick could surpass.
Oh, yeah.
Would have a 2.9 megahertz CPU, which is terrible, and be able to store almost half a gig of data.
Which
almost.
That's so small.
490 kilobytes. It would cost $6,500.
So how would the SCCA be able to send out their rule book?
You'd mail that.
I was looking at the club racing one the other day, and it's like 700 pages. And
it's ridiculous.
And the autocross one or the solo one is like 900 pages. Which is
I don't think they're quite that big, are they?
Yes, the club racing one is 700 pages, like on the money, 700. And I think
that doesn't surprise me, but I could have swore that the
solo I think was like 918 is the number that sticks out in my head. It's a huge document.
No, I have to look it up because that seems absolutely.
I think it's 900. We'll do if you can look it up quick.
So I think the full rule book also contains a bunch of stuff about course rules and stuff.
Oh yeah, it's the full rule book.
So that's what
I'm talking about.
That's gonna pump those numbers pretty hard.
All right, so my number I'm having, look how fast that downloaded. I already got it. The number in my it's only 400 pages. What the hell am I thinking is 900 pages? 400 pages.
2020 solo rules.
Solo national rules. 400 pages.
Jesus. Yep, 386.
Well, mine's 400. What's that about?
I don't know. The one I'm looking at, 2020 solo national solo rules.
Yeah, me too.
And then there's also a pro solo rules.
Oh.
That is 36 pages long. So maybe the one you're looking at is both of those combined?
No. Maybe. I don't know. I could have swore there was one that was 900 pages.
That's insanity.
But maybe I'm thinking of something else. But yeah, the club racing one's 700, so maybe I'm just putting those together in my head. Yeah, not important. Either way, you wouldn't be able to open those on a computer.
No.
Or it would take you forever and a half, and you'd need an external hard drive. Or
at least
six external hard drives.
I was going to say.
Back when they had the ones that you had to plug into the wall and you'd hear it spinning. I had one of those. I had a shitload of it. It was like 2 terabytes, or maybe it was 1 terabyte. And I had it in college, and I had a bunch of stuff on it, like all my skating videos, like movies I downloaded, all my music, anything for school, stuff like that. And I dropped it off the edge of my desk one time, and I no longer had any of that. It was all gone, everything.
Yep.
And that was when I went to solid state, and I'll never ever go back for any amount of money.
I have one of those iPod Nanos that has a screen on it.
Yep.
And Logan, it's deader than a doornail because I can't find a cable.
Oh yeah.
Not that I really care either.
No.
But Logan calls it a phone and he plays with it all the time.
No, perfect.
So, yeah, that's his little toy, and I just think it's hilarious that he thinks that's a phone.
It's like a phone.
Yeah, I guess.
And it's small, so like it's proportional to him.
That's fair.
I had my cousin call me the other day. He's like, "Hey man, do you have this music from way back in high school?" Because he's going like back through all these like emo stuff that I still listen to. And he's like, "Do you have this band and this band and this band?" And I'm like, "Yeah, of course. I'm pretty sure every file of music that I have, I got from you like 10 years ago. I still have it." He goes, "Well, could I send you something? Like, is there a way that you could send it to me?" I was like, "Well, it's like 60 gigs of music. So why don't you go down to the store and buy a $5 flash drive and send it to me?" Because you can get
absolutely
the little micro SD cards with 64 gigs on them, and it costs you like $40. They're super cheap.
It's crazy how much that's changed.
Yeah. Because like even the card that I use right now for my GoPro, or the one that's in the Zoom, which it doesn't need to be this big, but the 64 micro SD card that we have for the Zoom, it didn't cost us shit. It's just crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways,
it's amazing how much that stuff's changed for sure. So,
curious, right?
Yeah, it was kind of I was like, that's actually a really funny comparison. This whole
apples and oranges, but it's kind of fun. It's
kind of interesting to think about. So, I don't know. Cool.
Yeah. So this rabbit hole of electronics was brought to you by Booney over at factorfabrication.com. Your one-stop shop for all of your roll cage needs in Des Moines. Factorfabrication.com.
Boom.
So we don't really have
Robbie.
We don't really have a topic, but I have.
What'd you do this weekend?
I got a lift in my shop. Oh no, I made noises. I got a lift in my shop. So I was at work on Thursday.
No, Robbie, you weren't at work, because that would indicate that you were messing around at work and not paying attention.
I'm on salary, so I can take a break kind of whenever I need it. Which at that time was I needed a break because I'd been working on a tool design, and after staring at a screen for ever, I needed a break. So
we'll call it a smoke break.
Since I don't smoke, and the smokers do get extra breaks, it seems.
Hell yeah, they do.
And I'm not like shitting on that. I mean, that's reality. Or not trying to cause the smokers get breaks, so I deserve 10 breaks. That I remember that argument. I remember that argument.
I saw this thing about like there's some Japanese company that gives non-smoking employees like 6 extra days of
vacation
a year.
Yeah. I think you're actually right. I think it's Japan or something like that. And it's a significant amount. It's like 6 days.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was like, I think it was Thursday afternoon. I just happened to take a break. I pulled up my phone, started scrolling through Facebook, just kind of to look at a different screen. And I go on the DMVR SCCA page, because our local SCCA group, and one of our mutual friends posted, "Hey, I got a friend of a friend, or a friend that has this 4-post lift that they're trying to get rid of. Who wants it?" And I just happened to be the first one that opened it up when he posted. I was like, "Well, I do."
Because that's literally the only way you were going to get this.
Yes, I just
being the first guy.
Yes. Yep. So
is this a business?
Yeah. So it's an actual vehicle repair shop over by Merle Hay. I can't think of the name right now. Real small shop, just 2 lifts, two garages, or 2 stalls in the garage. It's just him and this other guy, and they don't do tires. They just do like pretty minor stuff, nothing too crazy. But yeah, they don't even have a tire machine. It's just 2 lifts, and see this lift he'd had for, gosh, I don't know, like 30 years. I think it was built in '89, so yeah, 30 years. But anyway, they're getting ahead of myself. So I messaged right away. I was like, yeah, I'd be interested. Because the only other people that had posted on there had tagged other people. No one had actually commented and said, yes, I'll take this. So he posts. 4 minutes later, I post saying I want it. And then immediately a bunch of other people post behind me saying, well, if he doesn't get it, I'll take it. And then so the guy that posted it, David, sent me a private message and said, hey, here's his contact number. Called the guy right up and said, hey, I'll take it if it's available. When can I meet you? What do you need? He's like, well, we're tearing it down Saturday after work, 4:30. So if you can show up then, come help us tear it down. Then you can see how to put it back together, make it a lot easier for you. I was like, yeah, of course, I'll be there. He's like, well, which works out because he didn't want to go sit outside. Last thing he needs, people messing with it or things disappearing or sitting out in the rain, stuff like that. So it just kind of worked out that it was the weekend. I said, I probably shouldn't go to Grid Life. I got some other stuff I want to get done. Well, then I ended up doing this instead. So yeah, I swung over there after work, talked to the guy again, confirmed that, yeah, I'll be there Saturday at 4:30. I'll help you tear it down. It's yours if you want it. Great. So then, of course, I have to wait 3 days for this to come to fruition, be a reality. So I don't want to like jinx it by saying anything. So I talked to Jess about it, and I'm like, I definitely don't want to post about it. I'm like, oh, I got a lift coming, and then have something fall through. Be like, oh, by the way, my buddy that I'm really close friends with, he gets it, not you. But so I kind of planned it out, figured out I'd need a few things for it, so I kind of got everything prepped. So Saturday I worked on my cars for a bit, got everything ready for this weekend, which is the last mid event at St. Louis.
Well, that is still happening?
Yep. So it's a one.
Damn, I wish I would have known that.
We can do this. There's another rabbit hole we can go down. So it's a 1-day event.
Oh, okay.
So they got double booked on Sunday. So now we got a 2-day event crammed into a 1-day. So I get there Saturday, help with tech. Well, there's not a lot of people because TT Nationals is the week after. There was Grid Life last week.
Is it only TT?
No, it's a. I think the only reason it's still happening is because it's a majors race and a qualifier for runoffs.
Yeah.
If it wasn't a qualifier for runoffs, I guarantee this event wasn't happening.
That makes sense.
And that's just pure speculation. I haven't talked to anybody about that. That's just my thoughts. So,
I'm sure you're right, though. I'm sure there's some guy because I think you have to run like 3 majors a year or something like that. And I'm sure there's some guy that's like, yep, got 2, really need this event because I planned on going.
Yep. Yeah, and I assume that's what's happening. It's cool. I get to go, and there's not a lot of TTers showing up. It's kind of a bad week. So I know a good chunk of our regulars are either going to nationals or do Grid Life. So it's a pretty small group. But yeah, we show up Friday, camp, first thing in the morning, finish tech or registration if you haven't gotten that done yet. Then we do where the time trials is the first session of the day, 2 more before lunch, and then 2 after lunch. So it's 5 sessions, all before 5 o'clock. So it's going to be a mad dash of a day. So, but it's kind of nice because I'll be home by 10 o'clock probably on Saturday night. So what worries me is that if they rent the track by the day and this goes well, this might be what we end up doing in the future.
Oh, no.
That's what I'm afraid of. I kind of like the 2-day events because if something goes wrong on Saturday, I have Saturday night to fix it so I can get 2 more sessions on Sunday, and I'm sure a lot of people will feel that way. But, if they go to this where it's just a 1-day event all the time, that sucks. Like, you blow a power steering line or something on practice, you're not getting that fixed for the rest of the day, and you're out a full day's worth of money or full weekend's worth of money just for a 10-minute session.
Right.
So, yeah, we'll see how it goes. Maybe it'll go great and everyone will love it, but I have my doubts.
I think that's trying to cram a lot of stuff into a pretty short period of time. That's gonna be risky.
I think I've been to one event this year where we didn't have some pretty serious on-track incidents that resulted in schedule being pushed way back.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
at Road America this weekend on Saturday morning, the ambulance was 15 minutes late.
Yeah, exactly.
So track can't go hot till the ambulance shows up, which means that your schedule's you're already one session completely off on your schedule.
Yep.
The rest of the day.
Yep. Yeah. All it takes is like one not hot tow, but like just one tow for a broken down vehicle, and you're already off like at least a session. So
some asshole with his LS swap 240, oiling down the track.
The 240 hasn't oiled down the track yet. The Z has though.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair.
It's those VQ boys oiling down the track,
right?
Loud ass mufflers or lack thereof. God, you have to get it through the Z people.
Just buy a Corvette like the rest of us.
No, you don't. You don't need a Corvette to win everything.
Yeah, but it's easier that way, Robbie.
Some people don't like the easy way. Some people like to earn it the hard way. Like me. The stubborn way is the way I'll describe it. The stubborn, I'm doing it the hard way. Because
that's fair.
Fuck nannies.
Someday, Robbie, you'll change your mind.
No,
you'll see the light.
No, I'm not going to get on my soapbox, but I feel like I need to be a much better driver before I start relying on nannies, and I want to be a better driver, and I get
that.
So the only nannies I want are power steering and boosted brakes. That's it. Everything else I want to be able to do because of me. So if I'm flat spotting tires, I need to work on my driving. Yeah.
I suppose.
Again, it's the stubborn mentality. I'm fully aware that it's probably going to be a lot harder, and I'm probably not going to be the fastest because of it, but that's okay.
One of my favorite sayings I've ever stolen from somebody else. I'm more stubborn than this is difficult.
And that's perfect.
That describes both of us, frankly, quite well.
Absolutely. Yep, since we're clearly down this rabbit hole, I was talking to Josh Orr, messaged me because he heard me talking about the ABS on the Z. He's like, hey, as you have it set up right now, that's bad. Don't do that. He's like, because you're gonna have super unbalanced brakes. Like right now, I was kind of feeling that was the case when I took it out for a spin. That the passenger side front locked up dramatically before everything else, and I just kind of chalked it up to being on gravel. I was like, well, yeah, obviously I'm on gravel. It's gonna be kind of inconsistent. And Josh mentioned me like, yeah, no, that's just how it's gonna be unless you make some changes. Either it's you got to get rid of the ABS module, or you have to, if you want to keep ABS, there's a bunch of stuff you have to do. Which, of course, I'll always get the block that gets rid of the ABS module because I'm stubborn. But yeah, basically confirm my suspicions that, no, I can't just leave the ABS module in there and run it. I have more things I need to do in order to make it either non-ABS or actually ABS. So that's okay. Lots to learn. And I kind of like learning and tinkering, so.
It's simultaneously the fun part about a new chassis and the daunting part about a new chassis.
Yeah.
Just figuring out all the little things that you didn't even know you didn't know, or that you didn't know you even need to research.
Yep. And that's actually like the best and worst part of the podcast is that like the more open I am about the things I'm thinking about or I'm completely ignorant on or I'm struggling through, I say something and someone's like, hey, by the way, you're stupid. But I also did that. Here's the answer. So it was really cool. It was cool that Josh reached out to me right away and said, hey, I learned that the hard way at Road Atlanta. You don't need to. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. But back to the original story at hand. So I go to pick up this lift, and we're kind of, they've been using it in their shop since like 1995. It's meant to 3 different shops. It's been used and abused for almost 30 years. But it's in great shape, all things considered. I mean, it's just a used lift. And they've been using it in the shop every single day. When I went to talk to him, they had a vehicle on it. He stopped to talk to me and be like, this is it. It works. Everything's there. It's just old. So I show up on Saturday, and we're kind of talking about the best way to go about it. Because it was nice because I had my dad's trailer because I brought that skid loader back, so I could do some yard work with it. And so I brought that just in case, I don't want to scratch my trailer. But if I scratch my dad's trailer that's sitting outside, this one's in much worse condition than mine.
Oh, okay. I'll give you that one.
So like that, I mean, I joked with him all week. I was like, "Thank God you left this here with me because I didn't want to scratch mine." Full
well that that's not real Robbie, though.
Full disclosure, there's no scratches. It's fine.
Robbie would scratch his brand new trailer over scratching somebody else's beat up trailer in a heartbeat. Like if he had to pick which one was going to happen.
Oh yeah,
you would absolutely scratch your own.
If it's my dad's, I'm more likely to just use his. But like if it was anybody else's, I would have just taken mine.
Yeah,
but mine has the rock guard in the front, and I wasn't sure if it was going to fit quite right because mine's a little bigger. So I was like, well, I'll take his. It's just a flat trailer that you like with the ramps and stuff to put a skid loader on. So I'll take that. Maybe it'll fit a little better. So the idea was that we just lift up, back the trailer in, lower the lift onto it, and then take the posts in and set it in. I mean, that's all it was. And I think it probably would have been fine on my trailer, but it just worked out super well with having actually the smaller trailer and having the back end just, maybe 6 inches. It tipped over the dovetail. But yeah, it was actually really easy. Just drop the I don't know what you call it, the arms and stuff. Set it down on the trailer. Just undo all of the anchors. Loosen up the cables. Lift. And then you set it on the trailer. And it's just that easy.
Yeah, I kind of wondered if you'd be able to do that or not.
Yep. So I think if a DOT saw me driving down the road, they would have told me that I was, oh God, he measured it too. It was like probably 3 inches too wide legally.
How close were, like, what part of town was this in?
This was in like Merle Hay. So like kind of down by the Merle Hay Mall, which is kind of a busy part of Des Moines, really.
Yeah, not exactly close to you.
No, probably.
And you basically have to use the interstate to get home.
Yep, so I had to use Douglas Avenue, which is a 4-lane all the way down, which is really busy, actually. But 6 o'clock on about 5:30 on a Saturday wasn't too bad. I was able to kind of sneak out of town without having too many people around me. And then I could basically hug the curb so that little bit was hanging into the grass on that side. And then there was enough room that if someone wanted to get around me. It's not like I tried driving down Ashworth in Des Moines, because if you've ever done that, that road is for sure a foot too narrow. So having 4 cars on that 4-lane, not a thing. But Douglas was okay, and then the interstate was fine. I just kind of stayed either on the right, or because in Des Moines there's some sections where it's 3-lane or more. So I just either stayed on the far right or the far left lane, so I could kind of drop 2 wheels off out on the outside.
We've got huge shoulders through that part of, like, they're a whole nother lane and a half.
Yep. It's like they planned to stop people there. So it wasn't bad. Once it was loaded, it was perfectly fine to just drive. Once I got out of Douglas, I was a little nervous because I just didn't want someone to come flying up behind me and not realize that, hey, I'm kind of dipping into your lane. But yeah, besides that, it was super, super simple. I mean, we actually ended up just sitting around bullshitting. The worst part was trying to get the ramps off because the bolt or the shaft that holds it on was rusted. So it was like rusted and worn, so it wouldn't go through the hole. So he's like heating it up, and then we're hammering on it, and that took the longest. So I had to make my own new ones of those. But everything else just kind of fell up into place. And then I had to get, he let me have the air hose, because he was going to have to make a new one for anyways. And then he kept the plug-in for it, so I had to wire up my own plug-in. So
that's air assisted, huh?
Yep, all the safety air locks, so the locks are automatic. To release them, it requires air.
I don't know that I've ever seen one like that before.
I didn't think they were that way, but I think it's super common.
Yeah, I'm sure it's probably like the difference between like a commercial grade one and the cheaper one that
Yeah, you can have like electric solenoids.
Right. Like that's what my dad just bought a 4-post just like yours, except brand new.
Yep.
And that's the way his is. It's a little hydraulic motor that you got to plug it. It runs on 110.
Oh, really?
Just plug it into the wall and it runs up, and you just got to hold the release lever when you're going down so that it doesn't lock in place. And
yeah,
it's no big deal. So
yeah, it's the same technology. It's just electric versus air.
Yeah, I just didn't realize it. I mean, I'm sure I've probably just never realized that the mechanic shop ones I've looked at and used and been around are hooked up to an air hose.
Yeah. I was looking at the pictures David posted, and then I was trying to think about it too. I was like, because I looked up the part number online, trying to see what I all needed, like anchor sizes and just stuff like new compressor, stuff like that. So I had it all like a shopping list of things. I was like, all right, here's what I need. So I need anchors, I need an air compressor, I need wheel chocks, I need what else did I need? Oh, a bit to drill through the concrete. I also want to thank the guy that built this house, because that concrete is at least 6 inches thick, the entire shop. It is way overbuilt. So, much like this house.
Seems to be a thing in your house.
Yep. He did not cheap out on anything on this house. He overbuilt the house. He overbuilt the shop. It is great. So, yeah, I was going to go to Menards and like Harbor Freight and grab the things I needed. Because, wheel chocks are like $4 at Harbor Freight. So I was trying to decide what I wanted to do for an air compressor. And I guess we'll get to that. But yeah, so I get home, decided I didn't want to drive around with the trailer any longer than I had to. Dropped it in the shop, grabbed some food, and immediately turned back around and went to Menards, and then called Dalton, trying to catch him before it was too late on a Saturday night, so that he could give me some answers before he's out partying too hard. So I thought I knew what I needed. So I had a picture of the 220 plug-in on my wall, and then I was like, because I didn't actually have what I needed. I had to I had to buy the cable and then buy the connector. And I was surprised at how many different connectors there were. So I get there, I was like, Dalton, I think this is what I need, and this is the wire I'm getting. Tell me if I'm right. So then we had like a 10-minute conversation, kind of walking me through of, the size wire I need versus the motor I have, the amperage draw, just talking through it. Luckily, he was like super helpful, even though he was super mad at me because I got this before him. Because right now everybody hates Robbie. But I do appreciate that he helped me walk through it. So just get the right plug in and get the right length of cable, which of course that's super not cheap. Like $60 by the time it was all said and done for just like a 25-foot cable.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
Yep. Again, same thing. I really appreciate that the guy that built this shop put 3 different 220 plugs in. It's just nice. It's just so nice. So
so ridiculous.
Yep, so I got home Saturday night, got everything I needed. Then I had no intention. It was like 8:30. I had no intention of working on it anymore. I got all day Sunday, and before I knew it, I had the posts all set up. I had everything hooked up. I wired it in. Figured out why all my wiring wasn't working. Got all that figured out. And then lifted it up and got the trailer. I was like, okay, well, it's assembled. And at that point, I'd called it a day. I got way further than I thought I needed, and I learned that the 1-gallon hot dog, half a horsepower air compressor that I have is not enough to release those airlocks, obviously. But I had to test it. Even if I could just get it to work once,
yeah, you got to try it,
so I could run it up and down just to get it set up. I wasn't quite so lucky. But you can go through and release them, hold them open by hand, or zip tie them open, so you can raise it and lower it without the locks going into place. So I just zip tied them open so I could get everything kind of in place until I could go find an air compressor. And then first thing Sunday morning, got it all hooked up, drilled the anchors for it, got everything level, then drilled the anchors. It's still not perfectly level on the hoist cable of it. It's like 99% level. So I'm going to try, like, if I want to do alignment stuff, I would like to have it a little bit better, but it's perfectly fine where it's at. I was really happy with how level my floor was and how well, like, same thing. Like, the guy gave me all the shims I needed, and what else did he give me? Yeah, basically I was ready to go. I just needed to get the cable and some anchors. And then where did I go from there? So yeah, so it was all set up, ready to go, and I don't have an air compressor. So I'm scrolling through Facebook Marketplace trying to see if anyone's got one. Like, cause I'm trying to save some money, get something nice. So I go on Facebook Marketplace, and sure enough, there's a few available. So I don't have to go buy a new, and I don't have to. I can get a nicer, bigger capacity one on Facebook than I can buying new for the same price.
Well, yeah,
obviously. So I found a couple. I messaged this guy. He had a Craftsman 33-gallon, 165 psi. Just it's a nice air compressor. Like I think it was like 6.8 CFH at was it 40 psi, 90 psi? I can't remember. Whatever details at this point.
Right.
Anyway, so I messaged him. I was like, "Hey, is this available?" He's like, "Yeah, of course." I was like, "Well, where are you at? I'll come take a look right now." This is like 9. This is right after the Formula 1 race, so like probably 10 o'clock by the time I got around to this. And he goes, "Well, I'm over in West Des Moines if you want to swing over." So I'm like, "Okay, well, I'll go get groceries. Stop on my way back out of town." It was kind of a win-win there. So I go get groceries, and at this point, he hasn't gotten back to me with the address. So like I'm in town, got everything I need to get done, go back home. Like, well, I guess fuck it then. I guess I'll try to find a different one. So no one gets back to me the rest of the day, and this guy finally gets back to me. I was like, "Hey, man, I wasn't around my phone all day. It's still available if you want it." I was like, "Okay, great. I'll be there in 20 minutes." So it's I think when these were new, or I guess when Craftsman was going out of business, or not Craftsman, Sears was going out of business. These were on sale for like $400. So I mean, he wanted $200 for it, which I thought was a super fair price, given that it's hardly been used. The only thing that's on it is some random stickers, some Supreme stickers.
Really?
Yeah, there's a Supreme sticker on top. But
the way you describe this guy, I guess I assumed he was older than us. Am I wrong?
No, for sure younger than me by like a couple years.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so we met at his apartment garage, and I was totally fine with the $200. I didn't really think anything of it, and took a look at it, and then fired it up, and everything ran great. Had a nice long hose to it as well. Yeah, it's in mint condition, just dusty. Right. So we're just kind of chit-chatting. He's got this Honda Civic that he's working on, and kind of bullshit about that too, and letting it getting up to pressure, so I know that it actually works. And then I was like, "Well, what's the best you'll do on it?" He's like, "I don't know, man. What's your offer?" I was like, "How about 160?" "Yeah, I could do that." I was like, "No fucking way. No way. Really?" I mean, I didn't say that, but I was thinking in my head, I was like, "You kidding me right now?
What a dick.
This is worth all of $200." So I was like, "All right, here's the cash, man." Because I actually brought cash. Because I was gonna try to haggle. For some reason, I was just feeling it. This was the weekend. This was my weekend.
I'm so proud of you, Robbie. I've never been so proud of you in my life.
Yep, I showed up. Well, I had some cash because I sold some car parts on Facebook Marketplace. So I had $100 in cash. I went and got $100 more, and then just got this awesome air compressor for $160. Again, following the theme here.
Jesus Christ.
Everybody hates Robbie this week. I'm fine with that. So
God damn it.
So I get home, fire it up, and it's great. It's the exact air compressor I needed. And then this is when I went back to Harbor Freight to get the wheel chucks and stuff like that. And I'm walking around looking at like this media blaster that requires a 27-gallon or bigger air compressor. Well, that's great. Mine's 33. I didn't buy it.
I was going to say, did you buy that? Because that's sweet.
No, but they do have a couple that are really cheap. So I really wish I had this last year when I was messing with those wheels because I sanded them for fucking ever and they still look like shit.
Yeah.
If I would have had a media blaster, it would have took like an hour. So that's...
Well, let me know. My dad has one. He's not that far away.
Oh, yeah. That'd be perfect. Yeah, I want it. So media blasters, something on my list. And then I always like painting with an air gun. This isn't really perfect for that, but it would, one of those low pressure ones would be all right. And I'm not going to paint full cars with it. So maybe one day I'll get a paint gun again. But yeah, so I got back, worked great, got everything set up, and now I have a lift in my shop. Z's on it right now. Have the underglow on. It's just so nice having the underglow for extra lighting. It's almost like I was planning ahead there. But the biggest issue is that both of my cars are too low to get on the lift with the with the ramps that it comes with. So I
kind of wondered that. That doesn't. So you just need to buy some race ramps or make your own or whatever, though. Yeah, that's not that big a deal.
Well, I got halfway on with the Z, and then all of a sudden I'm sitting there just like spinning my tires. I'm like, damn it.
No way.
Yep, so
that's hilarious.
Bottomed out. Then so I was able to get to back off, and then I went and grabbed the ramps that I used for my trailer, and that was enough to just lift me that extra, inch or whatever that needed to get me over that hump.
Right.
Yeah, it works great. I've been tinkering with it all week. I'm just super pumped, man. I'm like giddy about it. I'm so happy that I have it. Well, I mean, obviously
you should be.
I mean, he posted about it, and I had it set up and using it within 24 hours. All for a grand total of like $250 for everything.
Fucking Robbie.
It's not too often I have one of those weeks, so I'm pretty happy.
Everyone gets lucky sometimes.
I'm
still waiting for it.
Yeah. Usually it's never me. I'm always the guy that shows up at, if it takes 5 minutes to get there to get something nice, I show up at 10 minutes. And
right.
I'm sixth in line.
Right.
But yeah, so I'm ecstatic, man. I've been messing around with shit in the garage all week, just because now. It's like, well, so I had it up in the air. I'm looking at it like, this is going to make swapping this diff so easy. I can fix this exhaust. It's so easy.
Fucking Robbie.
As if I wasn't motivated enough.
That's good, though.
Yeah. I mean,
so there's a lot of obviously a 2-post would have been
ideal.
Nice for some things.
I would have preferred a 2-post, but
yeah, I think overall, like if I have to pick one or the other.
Yeah, if I was buying one new,
yeah,
it would definitely be a 2-post. But this 4-post will be great. This will be nice for like alignment adjustment and stuff like that too, because my floor is level-ish, but wavy and not great. So I remember when I had the 240. I mean, it doesn't help that the bumper's a cheap fiberglass, so it's a little askew. But I remember when we went to do the dyno day, and we're looking at like, dude, your alignment's way off. I was like, yeah, it looks like 8 degrees. And like, we all agreed it looked like 8 degrees. It wasn't, because the bumper was just, wheep. But I knew it wasn't as accurate as it should be. So this will definitely help with not having super screwed up suspension.
Cool.
And I think the plan is for the Porsche for the endurance team is going to end up in here as well, because I'm also kind of centrally located to the entire team,
right?
So it kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
And I was talking to Jess. I'm like looking at it, going, I thought for sure I'd have less room with this in here. I have more room because of the way I rearranged my shop, so I can put 2 cars at an angle on the south wall, put a car on the lift, and then there's also enough room for a car under the lift. So I could have 4 cars in there pretty comfortably.
If you really wanted to, if you were doing something that doesn't necessarily require the lift, you could park one car on the lift, bring it up, park another car underneath it, and have all kinds of room for activities too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's what it'll end up being, is having the three cars. I have no intention of putting 4 in here, but it's nice to know that I have the room.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm going to use the ever-living shit out of this. Like it works great. Like the only issue is that the seals obviously are not perfect because they're so old. So
I wonder if you can
rebuild it and replace stuff. I mean, their parts are available. But yeah, if you lift it all the way to the tippy top, as high as it'll go, a little bit of fluid will come out of the hydraulic cylinder pressure relief valve.
Yeah.
But nothing to worry about. Everything else is, in great condition, all things considered.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, absolutely. So
yeah, that's the Everyone Hates Robbie podcast episode. So we can move on to the news because I've had a fucking great week.
Yeah, I haven't really had much going on in the way of the car stuff. So just working too much like usual. So
yeah, so you've been busy as hell.
Yeah. We're still trying to keep our head above water with the storm damage cleanup. I mean, we lost a couple weeks of production, and the world doesn't stop moving forward just because of a storm. And so now we got to catch up all of that, and it's just, it never stops. So
yeah,
it's fine though.
They'll keep telling you it's job security.
Something.
Yeah.
People keep using that term, and I keep telling them that it's literally never been a concern of mine, and I don't need any more of it. So let's not try. It's like, I don't need that.
No,
it's not what I'm here for.
Not here to work yourself to death, man.
Nah, it's what I'm rapidly getting towards, though.
Ugh. Yeah, it'd be nice to get just more of a level, just healthy, busy.
We're trying to add people, and hopefully that'll help quite a bit. So
yeah, definitely,
we'll get there someday. It's a growing company, and there's some pains involved in that. So
of course.
So
we can do the news. Why is it doing that? Anyways,
Robbie, you need to update your Windows or something?
I don't know. It's making noises.
Usually I can hear it, which I assume means the world can hear
Everybody
it.
can hear it. Usually it only does that if I'm clicking on the wrong thing, like trying to open things while I'm clicked on a different, like on the Zoom meeting. But I'm clicked on the browser. I don't know.
This answers a question I had of mine, though. Is that like, if I'm dicking around on my computer here and I pulled, or I had something that played sound, do you hear it?
Usually with yours, no. With mine, the way it's set up, yes. So like, I recognized it right away on one of the earlier episodes when we first started doing Zoom, that if I forgot to click away, like I'll hit record on OBS, I'll hit record on Zoom, hit record on the Zoom recorder, the
Right.
portable handheld thing we use, and then forget to click on the browser or whatever window I want open. And then if I try to use my hotkeys, it'll make noise because I'm on the wrong window. But I'm not on the wrong window, so I'm not sure what's going on. Let's see. And now it's doing it, not making any noise. So I don't know what I was clicked on. I'm sorry to our listeners, and I'm sorry for this rabbit hole that no one gives a shit about.
Yeah, fuck it.
But as always, our news is presented by Apex Pro, ApexTrackCoach.com. They have their Lap Timer Plus and video recording. That's their subscription service. We've talked about it before in the past. It has a little extra data involved. It has the predictive lap timer, and it also has the data overlay to go with your video recording. It's a little extra add-on that they have. You can pair their OBD2 sensor with it as well. So it'll give you everything. We talked about last week. If I do go to some sort of a dash in the Z, I'm probably going to end up just getting their OBD2 data and then hooking that up to a screen, because it gives you anything that I would ask for at this point. So
yeah,
when it comes to the amount of data that you get for the price, there is nothing else that's out there that's going to compete with Apex Pro. You're going to look at, like, even the Garmin that just came out is going to cost you double, and then everything else is at least double. So ApexTrackCoach.com, use our code 10tenths for a free window mount if you want to get just the Apex Pro unit. So that's a $40 value for free. So ApexTrackCoach.com.
First up, Nissan releases Robbie's future track car 15 years from now.
Yeah, because I'm not buying it new, obviously.
No, let's be real here. You're going to buy it when it's 15 years old. But it kind of does have Robbie written all over it.
There's a lot that I like.
It's got to be like slightly less concerned about Nanny's Robbie, because we know this one's going to have it.
It's got a few.
But,
it's going to have a few. But
so Nissan has unveiled the prototype, which they say is a very near production version, which it does look like.
It appears that way. Yes.
Of the new Z car. which
is rumored to be called the 400Z. It is a...
I think it's going to be called the Fairlady Z.
That'd be fine if they took the Fairlady name back. That's what they called it in Japan.
They haven't given it a name anywhere.
No, it's just the proto.
And if you look at the back, like a rear shot of the car, it says Fairlady Z on the top of the hatch.
Yeah.
Right above the taillights.
Let's see if I can find a picture. That's what they used to call all the Zs in Japan.
Yep.
No, I can't find it.
And so I kind of wonder if they're going to call it the Fairlady.
If they do, that's what they're going to call it. Not in America.
Everywhere.
Let's hope I would like if they just did one name.
I want it to be the Fairlady Z more than the 400Z.
Same. That'd be cool.
I like Fairlady Z. That's cool.
Yeah.
So
and they use a lot of retro styling. They got the 240Z emblem in the same location they had it on the 240s. So it's up on the what do you want to call that?
C-pillar?
Yeah.
Probably.
Over top of the quarter panel in the rear. Yeah, the silhouette of the car, you can definitely see it's a bit of a 240Z mashed with a 370Z mashed with a Miata. I mean,
I like
there's a lot to like. This has always been my biggest hang up with Zs, is that I always wish they were longer. Like their noses, I mean, there's a lot of nose there, but I always felt like the car would look better if the nose was longer. So like
the front, if the beginning of the wheel arch was farther.
Yeah, or even just like if the bumper was a little bit different. Like that's why I really like...
So the bumper just needs to extend farther ahead.
Yeah, like that's why I really like my bumper I have on the Z is because it's a little longer and it just kind of changes the silhouette of the car. And I think that... So, I mean, as it sits, let's just say that this is the final production piece. And this is what comes out. You know, you get different... I think it'll look better with a different color because I really don't like the yellow. It just doesn't work for me.
I like yellow, and I don't think that's the right color for this car.
No. But I think that with a few personalized modifications, this is going to be a really great car. This is kind of where I wanted the 86, the Toyota 86s to go. Like, it would be a really good baseline. Like, it's a great car in its own right, but it doesn't take a lot to change it and make it your own. Whereas this car, you know, it's twin turbo V6 with a standard 6-speed transmission, just the right amount of nannies that you can take away and throw away. And then all it takes is, you know, let's say you probably don't need them, but you could do like over fenders, a spoiler, and a different front bumper or rear bumper, and it'll change the car in a way that it'll be more aesthetically pleasing to you. So yeah, I think you throw a spoiler on this and maybe change the front bumper, and I'm way in.
There's been a couple people that say they don't like the back. I really like the back of the car.
I don't like the 300ZX taillights.
I like the 300ZX taillights.
But I think there seems to be a very opposite end of the spectrum on that. Some people that's their favorite part of the car. Because I've read a bunch of comments on this. Because the more I look at it, the more I'm into it. So my first reaction wasn't great.
This is like, you know, this is Robbie's dream situation to maybe turn Nissan around and bring them back again.
Absolutely. How long have I been saying?
Exactly what you want to happen.
Yes. Yeah, but they needed a Z that was new and different, and it would get people excited, and it had to be not dramatically different. Like I'm trying to think what would be a good example of a car they brought back that was just like super weird. But like they didn't get too far away from the heritage of the Z. Well,
so like obviously it's not a Nissan, but the GTO.
Yes.
The new one, all these Pontiac diehard people like my father hated it because it didn't have any like heritage or throwback to the original car. And it just never really took off. It never sold that well.
No, and I don't disagree with him. I always liked that car, but I completely understand their frustration with it.
Yeah.
I mean, if they would like kind of like the GTR, to me it's just so different than the other GTRs, the Skylines. So I'm very curious as to what they could potentially do with the Skyline GTR, whatever the hell you want to call it, if they do a total redesign of that car. Are they going to go back, kind of like what they did with the Z, and focus on some of the older stylings that they had? Because I think that would sell really well. But if they continue to focus on a design that's similar to the newer one, I think it will continue to die off.
Yeah.
But no,
I don't know. I like it. I think it's a good step.
I think you're going to see these cars everywhere. I think it's going to be a very popular car. I wouldn't be surprised to see some changes. But I don't think there's going to be too dramatically different when they do finally get to production. I think the biggest thing that we need to worry about is where they're going to price it. Yeah. One thing on looks. I think if it, because the Genesis, that's what I'm thinking of. The Genesis came out and the prototype was awesome. It looked so good in the prototype. It had all those carbon fiber accents, and just the body styling was really good. And then we got the production car, and it was like, it was okay. It was good, but no one got excited about it.
Yeah.
And I don't see that happening with the Z.
I hope not.
And I hope that they price it. It has to be priced.
It's going to be super money.
It can't be. It'll never sell.
It's going to be super money.
It needs to be like starting price of $27,000. Has to be.
It's going to be super money.
If it's even close to 60, it won't sell. The GTR needs to be in the $70,000 range.
Yeah, the GTRs are too expensive.
I won't disagree. Buying a $200,000 GTR right now is ridiculous. That's insane. No, this needs to be like BRZ money.
Oh, that's definitely not going to happen because it's going to have 400 horse.
No, man.
Dude, it's a twin turbo 4-liter V6 in it. It's going to make 400 horsepower.
But every car has that. Like the Mustang has that.
I know, and they cost
34
way more than a BRZ.
Barely.
Not a 400 horsepower one.
What's the twin turbo one cost? The EcoBoost. 27?
That's single turbo, but but it doesn't make 400 horse.
What's the Camaro cost?
A 400 horsepower one? I don't know.
What's Dalton's cost? The original, MSRP of Dalton's Eco.
I think they're in around the 30 range, and it's like 330.
The Z has to be in the Camaro money range. It has to be.
Yeah, probably, but I don't think it's going to be. I think it's going to be super money.
Then I
think it's going to be 50 grand to start.
It's too much. The Z cannot be 50,000. It can't be.
It's going to be.
It won't sell.
It
will, but it won't sell like it should. It has to be in the Camaro Mustang price line.
Yeah,
and the GTR.
I don't
has
disagree
to be
with you, but I don't think that's where it's going to be.
God, I hope you're wrong. I really do. I really do.
I do too, but I don't think I'm going to be.
No, that's what the GTR is for. They can focus on redoing that and putting that in the Super line.
Yeah, and that new GTR is going to come out and be 150 grand to start.
Stupid. Let's hope. I really do hope you're wrong. Let's do a predictions thing in December and then meet you and I.
Yeah,
can
if
argue
they haven't announced it yet. Yeah, we'll see.
Yep. Oh man,
so
it's cool though. I do like it. I wish.
Yeah, super cool.
Some of the renderings that people have done with some body kits, or like lowering them, or throwing wings on them, or wide body kits, or even just like fender overflares, looked really good. Somebody did a rendering of Forsberg's livery on a lowered, wide-bodied version of it. God, it looked good. It would look so cool.
Yeah, I saw that one too.
So when I first saw it, when it came out, the other day, I was like, God, this makes me want a 240Z in the worst way. And then now, the more I look, I was like, God, I wanted the Proto so bad. Not enough to buy a new one, but just 10 years from now, man, that could be car number 3 in the garage. Car number 4 in the garage. That could go under the lift while the other.
You start liquidating some stuff here, Robbie.
Once a collector,
start letting a car go to replace it with something new.
Once a collector, always a collector, Adam.
I guess, but
actually, if it gets to the point where I have too many cars and not enough track time, then that's when I'll start selling. Which could very well be next year. Whatever, we'll figure it out.
Right.
Next.
Up next, IndyCar gets a new street circuit in Nashville.
I like it. I like it a lot.
At first, I was like, that looks dumb. But then I saw, the Nashville Bridge. Like that's a fairly iconic bridge for the city of Nashville, and like I realized kind of where it's at and stuff like that, and I've softened on how I felt about it. It's actually pretty cool.
Yep.
One thing I'm a little bit confused about though.
Go on.
The start and finish lines are not the same spot.
I didn't realize that was more common than I realized.
Really?
I thought that wasn't a thing.
Is that a thing?
In IndyCar, it's a thing. They do it at Mid-Ohio as well, where the start line and finish line are different lines. It's so weird.
That's very strange. So is it only the finish line at the end of the race, but lap count starts every time you hit start line?
I
know I'm asking you a question you don't have an answer
I
for.
didn't even look into it, but yeah, no, it's weird. I don't know why they're doing it. There was no explanation.
That is strange. Very strange.
Because I read multiple articles. I didn't watch the full announcement video, but
right.
I didn't get an answer.
So they're predicting that at the end of the long, we'll call it a not so straightaway
across the bridge.
Across the bridge, it's going to be flat. But from
17. Oh wait, no, I'm looking at this backwards. Okay, so
from turn 1.
Yes. Okay.
So what is that? Turn 20 to turn 1. I was thinking 190 miles an hour.
Turn 11 to turn 1.
Is that 11?
No,
it can't be 11.
That's 21. Sorry, 19, 20, 21. Yeah, so turn 21 across the bridge to the start line, down to turn 1.
Yeah, that is 190 through there.
Yeah,
I can the braking zone for turn 1.
That's a long, sweeping, not so straightaway, but but
it'll be flat.
Absolutely.
So I'm also a little surprised they're not calling those corners, because if you look at a Road America track map, corner 2 isn't really a corner. Those are way more turn than turn 2 on Road America.
Yep.
Because from 1 to 3 is basically a straight line.
Yep. Where the bridge. Oh, that'd be we'll just say north. I don't know if that's actually true. On the north side,
I have no idea.
It doesn't have a compass on it. So let's just say across the Cumberland River, away from the stadium, that absolutely could be a turn going into 17 and a turn coming out of 21.
Right, and then between where the start line is and turn 1.
That could absolutely be a
that
turn.
Could have been turn 1, and what is turn 1 could have been turn 2.
Yeah. So we'll kind of take a quick step back. So it goes through Nashville, cuts the finish line is right in front of Nissan Stadium, which is where the Titans play. So it goes through their main the downtown area. It goes around looks like a couple blocks. So turn 1 to turn 2 looks like 4 blocks.
4 blocks.
Goes up
and
two blocks.
2 to 3s
to Nissan Stadium. Take a left.
Yep.
Just a quick tight 90-degree
chicane.
I guess if you want to call it a chicane. Then into the Korean Veterans Boulevard Bridge, and that goes over the river and back. And that I don't like. Originally I liked the idea of street races until I started watching more street races and realized how shitty they are.
They usually suck.
This looks like it could be pretty good. The roads look like they're going to be fairly wide. It could be a really good race. They got a 3-year deal. I think it could be good. I really do.
I think it's pretty neat. I'm surprised that they're getting new
street
circuits.
It seems like it's got to be extra challenging now to get a street circuit.
Yeah.
In our Sue happy world that we live in. That
and just the number of people whose day to day they have to just completely destroy for a period of time.
Yeah.
I almost wonder. I'm a little surprised that we're still getting these at all, let alone new ones.
I almost wonder if it's kind of like I know it was such a big deal in Miami that they fought it for Formula One to be there, but I wonder if, this is in such a spot that Nissan Stadium has so much stuff going on all the time. So, I mean, on a week to week basis, they got to be used to just having to shut that area down for
Yeah, maybe it's just another week.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to shut a lot of that down for a Titans game anyways. What's shutting down a few more things for a street circuit for a week?
I'm also curious if they'll have to do anything to keep cars from falling off the bridge.
Yeah, but you're going to see the big fences, and then you're going to have the catch fences that go over, like you see.
Yeah, like if you're doing 160 across the bridge and somebody has a tire-to-tire contact because these are open-wheel cars and throws somebody up in the air.
Yeah, you definitely. It wouldn't surprise me to see a catch fence go all the way across that bridge on top. At like, let's just say 15 feet in the air or whatever.
Right.
Because you'll see. I bet you'll see like at Iowa Speedway, you'll see the NASCAR safety catch fences on the side. It wouldn't surprise me to see those connected on top, just to guarantee that you don't have somebody go into the river. But they don't. I mean, is it any more dangerous than Monaco for Formula One?
No, probably not.
They don't really do much for that in all reality.
I suppose.
And
I suppose it's like
it's a straight line.
An extremely worst case scenario.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a statistical number to it that says the chance of this actually happening is 1 in 13 million or something crazy. And it's basically a straight line. So I mean, if something goes wrong, you're not at a weird angle. You should be crashing into a straight line. Again, it's a 160 mile an hour crash. Don't get me wrong, but it's still
right.
Yeah, let's hope it's never an issue. But it looks like it'd be super cool, and I think the footage for like the not live stream, but like the television stuff would be
drone shots and stuff like that. Will be cool.
Yeah, no, this
I
would
think
be good.
It's neat. So, Robbie, I'm gonna be honest with you. I need to get going because I got to go to work. So let's save the last news one for next week.
I'm good with that.
We'll talk about that next week because it's too funny not to. But I need to get moving.
Yep.
So
short show this week. I thank you, Adam, for taking the time. I know that this week's been absolutely nuts for you, and it's actually been pretty busy for me.
They all are.
But yeah.
So
you'd think that we'd have more time, but we never do. But I appreciate it. We'll get this in. I'll get it edited tonight, and I got a busy weekend as well. So we'll plan on doing more next week. Keep the fans coming back.
All right, man. We'll catch you later.
Yep. Catch you and everybody else next week.